Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video, and today I wanted to discuss briefly as to why GTA 5 Online feels so dead, why it feels so kind of vapid, empty, vacuous. I think the reason is very simple. Because when GTA first came out, online specifically, there was this sense of community, this sense of adventurism in the culture, the spirit of people playing it. You wanted to explore. You wanted to jump in a submarine and see what was underneath the waves that were crashing on the beach. You wanted to see, is it a shipwreck? How did that tank get there? What does the knock mean on the hatch that's underneath the water? How did the UFO get there? When it first started snowing in the Christmas update, people would, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? We can have snowball fights. We can do this and that. We can hop in SUVs, even though the physics haven't really changed that much, and make it feel like we're going off-road up here in the mountains of Chiliad and things like that. I just remember that there was something more, I don't know how to put it, pure about it. It wasn't plagued by this type of online consumerism. Now, I understand that you could say, well, listen, man, the game's been out for a long while. Do you want them to just not update it? Would you be happier if they didn't add anything? Of course, that's not what I'm saying. What I mean is that the notion that you just keep adding stuff to buy seems to be missing the mark. Like the Cayo Perico heist, right? If we could fly to an island that was now added in the game, that to me would mean so much more than having another vehicle added. The slidey tires that they added for the tuner update, I believe that's what it was called. That, in my opinion, I think that little ability to now drift with your buddies in a parking lot, which we've been waiting to do for a very long time, and unfortunately slamming on the e-brake didn't cut it, means so much more to players than another helicopter, than another armored car that you can't blow up, or another bizarre alien weapon. I think there are only a few of them. And that type of innocence, of adventurism, as I've said earlier, has to fade, because it's rooted in novelty. You can only explore a game so many times. You can only explore a map so many times. And with Expanded and Enhanced, the other video that I did right before this, you can see that the games look a little bit different, because in 5M I can't change the textures. I can only do that in single player. You can see that the game looks so upgraded that people who were on console that are looking at a game that looks this refreshed and modernized would probably just be kind of hypnotized in amazement. It would buy Grand Theft Auto so much more time, but not in a cheap microtransaction kind of way, in a very authentic, wow, this really has a new lease on life. That, coupled with maybe a couple of new maps, maybe if they reworked North Yankton. I'm not saying you should be able to get in a plane and fly for 20 minutes and land at the North Yankton airport. I think that probably wouldn't be realistic. More like you would go to the Los Santos airport, pay a couple of bucks, maybe buy another property up in Yankton, so you could have more players kind of dispersed around the map. Cayo Perico, maybe you could do something like that, but that type of exploration, that type of novelty, seems as though it's dying out. I have no interest whatsoever of really ever playing GTA 5 Online again, even if it was with a couple of friends. I mean, even the shootouts that people used to have were between realistic humanoid weapons. Maybe a guy would be an asshole once in a while and throw a grenade or use a rocket launcher or use a tank. But now, you can be in a jet and just get blown out of the sky. That's what another problem with 5M Online, RSM Free Roam, is you're in like an F-22 Raptor, and you feel like, okay, well, this is a pretty serious piece of equipment here, and someone shoots you out of the sky with a railgun. The game has been plagued with, I think, this type of instant gratification as well, where there's no real organic nature to even shooting people or having firefights. Everything is so overblown. It's all so over the top. And the reason for that is that when you have a game that's been going on this long and you refuse to even do little things like open the interiors. I mean, can you imagine if we could actually enter interiors on GTA 5 Online? That would add a whole new dynamic to it. But instead of doing things like that we want, it's just more and more weaponry. It's more and more vehicles, which of course leads to more and more grinding. I really don't understand why people even want to go on the game any longer. It doesn't, it's changed from what it was. This is just my opinion. I know it's probably pretty agreed upon, but I'm not sure. I just keep thinking back to when the game came out, and that's all I can think about is, yeah, our fun that we had nothing to do with what we could buy next. It had nothing to do with what we could purchase. It was the little things. It was the things that were actually free. I know this sounds ridiculous. I know that this sounds like a Hallmark advertisement. And, you know, I believe it's called the Titan, the dual prop airplane, the big large cargo plane. I think it's based off of the AC-130. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you used to be able to get in the back of that? Didn't you used to be able to open the cargo hatch in the back? And you could put vehicles in there. You could do the same with the cargo bob. You couldn't put anything in that one. It's amazing how something that innocent, something that is non-game breaking at all, that actually adds way more fun to the game than any type of purchasing could do, they patched it. Like, why would you patch someone being able to go in the back of an airplane? Why would you remove interiors? This is stuff that I really don't understand, and it doesn't take away money from Rockstar. Like, just because somebody can get in the back of an airplane, just because someone can go inside of a building, doesn't mean that they're not going to buy a car to stick inside of the airplane. I would like some of you, maybe, to hop on 5M and tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you think that the role-playing actually changes the way you play Grand Theft Auto. This is people that have it on PC, that have never done it before. I'd really like to see what you think. Or maybe, I think even in GTA Online with Xbox, you can meet up in parties with people, and they sort of attempt at roleplay, even though it's not the same thing. Anyway, this is just my opinion, and I hope that something changes in the future. I hope that Rockstar realizes that expanded and enhanced, yes, people are going to buy it, but compared to what it is and what it could be, are such worlds apart. It really is a shame. I would have been perfectly fine with Grand Theft Auto 6 not coming out for another couple of years, if only people could play the same game on console that I'm experiencing on PC. And with the magic of what Rockstar could do, it would probably be unimaginable in terms of how much better they could make it than a couple of, rogue modders. But it's the way it is. It's a shame. I get that everything's about money, but this would have been the easiest cash grab in history. Like, they'd be laughing to themselves. We modernized the game. We updated the graphics. We added new textures. It took a couple of months, and we're going to make another tens of millions of dollars just off the game and another hundreds of millions off of microtransactions. Like, this is the easiest business ever, but they didn't do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Just a random series of thoughts.